Hello, everyone. My name is Dio Morales, your host of the Gold Squadron podcast. And we're coming to you live from Day 2, the top cut of the Gen Con North American Championships. My co-commentator for this round is
Ken Cho.
How are we doing? All right, Ken. Since we have less players around than usual, I want you to bring the mic a little bit closer to your face so people can get real intimate with you.
Got to get pro. Here we go.
There it is.
All right.
All right, so if you haven't seen already, on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, you have your Choose Your Champion poll. Brad and Mark, go ahead and choose. You got First Order versus Scum. Let's go ahead and start by breaking down the lists.
Yeah, so on the right side of the screen, we have Mark, who I believe he said he's from Michigan.
Yes.
He's flying, I think, the only Scum list in the cut. There might be one other, but
no, there's definitely at least one other.
Okay. Flying Ketsu, Old Tarak, and Cavill.
There's another one.
Yeah, and then you have Brad on the other side of the table. I didn't catch where he's from.
He's out of Iowa.
He's out of Iowa. Mm-hmm. Flying First Order, and there were a fair number of First Order in the field. I don't know how many, again, is in the cut. Flying Starbase Killer, Lieutenant Tafson, probably almost the best pilot on First Order, and Kylo Ren.
Absolutely. So looking at faction breakdown, I can actually just go ahead and give you the names for the people who are watching. A lot of these names should be familiar. These are great players who've been able to perform consistently even since first edition. So at the top, Mike Doyle, who we had on stream yesterday, Scum. That's in first place currently. Second, Matt Carey, flying Imperials. He's the one. He went 6 wins.
Yep.
Top MOV though out of the 6 wins with the TIE V1.
Yep.
The TIE Advanced Prototype, some people like to call it, from first edition.
Yeah, and Matt is out of the St. Louis area, and
yes.
I believe he's the reigning Gold Squadron podcast classic
Gold Squadron
champion.
Classic champion. Yeah, absolutely. Then ranked third, Ryan Staniszewski with the Resistance. Fourth, Mark Moriarty with First Order. Fifth, Mark Grawburg, who we have on stream right now. Sixth, Samuel Rothstein flying Imperials. Seventh, Andrew Knuckles with the Republic. Eighth, Ethan Van Sant with the Resistance. 9, Carson Ray with the Republic. 10, Richard Hines with the Separatists. 11, Sean Hune with Rebels. 12, Brad Stryzcek, who we have right here with First Order. 13, Todd Grubbs flying the Resistance. And 14, Josh Benjamin with the Republic.
And for those who think this is a weird number for the cut, the format was 7 rounds of Swiss each of the first day heats, and only 6-1 or 7-0s got to advance. So it's very much like the System Open, a little peculiar because it was 7 rounds, and that's why we have 14, I think it is, instead of a full 32.
Absolutely. And what happens is the 2 people at the very top, in order to get that, to get into the normal bracket, the first 2 people have buys.
Yep.
What they're doing there. Yeah, just looking at that list of players, we had actually a majority of them on the stream yesterday who performed really well. We had Mike Doyle, who's flying Torkel Mux, Seavor, and 3 Kirax fighters.
Interesting.
Yeah, just lots of cool stuff out there. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on here on the screen. So Brad Stryzcek out of Iowa, I've seen him play this list a couple times before. He's a good friend of Will's Hagwood, my co-commentator. I guess he commentates with me, but my co-host for the podcast. That's what I was trying to say.
He's a regular cast member of the podcast.
That's right. And Brad has been playing a version of this list for quite a long time. Very skilled player. Starting with the self-bump on the shuttle. So the purpose for this self-bump of them running into each other is to delay their entrance. Because we know that one of the things that the Upsilon is bad at is turning around, right?
Correct.
So you start, what's going to end up happening, you start in the corner. One of them is going to end up turning out. You turn out. And they're going to come in from opposite directions. This is just a general idea. These are not necessarily the paths. And then what will happen is once the enemy ship has gotten inside of the circle, they start to turn around inside of each other.
Collapse in
and
on
then
that.
The arcs end up coming back. And you have this constant kind of like figure 8 formation kind of happening so that they're always covering ground, of course, until you lose one. I know one of the one of the comments all the time when I see people like, oh, it's Upsilon, just get behind it.
Yes.
And
Sounds so easy.
Lot harder, lot harder to execute when you have a player especially who really knows what they're doing.
Right, and I think Brad brought the 3 gas clouds because that will allow the Upsilons to just try and, reef in as hard as possible twice, 2 rounds in a row to get turned around without any consequences. And especially with one of them being Tavson, Tavson takes a hit, takes 2 actions, which you can share if it's within range to coordinate. So.
Yep, and a couple people asking about, oh, that feels nice. Thank you to Mr. Kevin ID for that nice back rub. Morning back rub. I appreciate that. That was good.
Very sensual.
A couple people asking about, well, can Brad do that with his shuttle? So the fortune rule, which is what people are referring to, says that at least one of your ships must move, and Kylo's moving.
Right.
And getting into position. So that satisfies the requirement there.
It satisfies, I think, the old requirement, but now with new floor rules, one could arguably call over a judge to say there is slow playing, and then it would be a judge's discretion call at that point.
I would argue with you in the sense that Brad, he had the dials down, knew exactly what he was going to do.
Yep.
And that was that. Also,
I'm not saying that it is delaying, but one could arguably, like I said, make that case to a judge with the new floor rules and make it more complicated.
Right, yeah.
If one were so inclined.
Yep, so who made the cut? These 2 guys made the cut, and 12 other
We just read off the roster, list of 14.
Yeah,
Yanni,
you should have been on time for class.
Yeah.
You was late for class. You missed the list. I'm just kidding. We'll read it here in a little bit again. So Kylo controlling the middle of the board here, just kind of waiting out, seeing what he needs to do.
Kylo is trying to get one of the ships to commit into the middle so that the Upsilons can break formation, like you say, and collapse in. Because, as a large base ship, they can move relatively fast. I think they only have the 3 banks, but that can cover a lot of ground once they're turned in and facing the right way.
Oh, yeah.
So, you can see Kylo is playing super cagey, feinting in, but able to dance back out and keep his options for the next turn.
All right.
And Mark is player 1? Okay.
Yeah, Mark's player 1. So Kylo's moving last. Kylo is the quote-unquote ace in this matchup. He's able to reposition. Mark's positioning I expect Mark to be really cagey with Old Tarak when it comes to Kylo.
Yep.
You gotta watch out. Kylo can definitely get in that.
Do we know how deep Brad's bid was?
2 points.
2 points? Okay.
Yeah, Mark, with all the stuff that Mark has in his arsenal, he's at even 200 points.
Do we think the deep bid in the current? This is the current meta. These guys are setting the meta. Is dead. Because I know I didn't face any and I ran 198 points.
The bid is really happening with the Jedi lists.
Yeah.
That's really where I'm seeing it. That's where I'm seeing it. We get dial flips, confirming the not moving.
Yep.
And here comes Ketsu. Now, one thing, Kylo really does a good job of hunting Old Tarak because Kylo doesn't need a focus.
Yep.
He has the force available to him.
So Mark is going to have none of that so far and just do the 5K. There's Cavill.
All right. So we got a 3 bank away. I think he's trying to approach those Upsilon shuttles. He wants to see if maybe get some of those off the board first. Let's talk about some of the abilities that we have here on the board. Tavson, like you said, is one of the most powerful weapons in the First Order arsenal. His ability reads, after you suffer damage, you may spend 1 charge to perform an action. So if Tavson ever receives multiple damage in a turn, he actually can trigger both of those if he'd like.
Right, and with the 1 agility, that's going to happen just about every attack.
Then what I'm seeing a lot of is once Tavson's in the fight, first action, normal actions usually just reinforce.
Yep.
You get in 1 damage, and now he's got his modifier for his attack.
Yep.
Can be extremely powerful, and you don't usually want to leave Tavson for the end game because he's tough, but also Brad also has Kylo in his list.
Yeah, and Kylo kind of has 2 jobs here. First is to be that bait to draw these ships into the asteroid field, and the second is to keep anyone off of Tavson's 6 o'clock arc there. Because if you get behind Tavson and there is nothing of yours in front of him, you should just fire all day long.
Right.
So it looks like neither player is really willing to commit into the field at all. You've got Brad with the setup, self-bumping with Kylo just kind of flying circles near the middle of the board, and then Mark is just kind of going back and forth on his side. So we may be in for a bit of a wait to see who finally commits. Maybe a game of chicken on the clock to see who needs how much time to start laying some hits and to get some points.
Eagles 111 says, it's interesting that a World War II combat strategy, the Thatch Weave, is being used with First Order ships. Very cool.
Very historical.
Yeah, I
nice
didn't even know. The Thatch Weave, I kind of want to look that up.
Gotta watch the Battle of Britain.
People are asking which Starkiller or which Upsilon is which.
I believe
Tavson
number pink.
is pink. Yeah.
Number pink. Yeah, the ubiquitous number pink. My wife had actually logged into my stream to match and had to ask me afterwards, what is with this number pink reference?
That's right. All right. So I'm going to look this up right now. The Thatch Weave. Thatch Weave pattern. Oh, yep, there it is. Okay.
Yep.
Very cool. Turns out Brad was a World War II general. He's come back from the future.
Should we continue talking about the abilities of the pilots here? So we talked about Tavson.
Yeah, so
Starbase Killer does not have an ability, very basic.
So Kylo Ren's ability is blank. You don't use I'll show you the dark side. You bring the condition card because you have to.
Right.
But it's not something that you so let me read it first. So it says after you defend, this is on Kylo Ren, after you defend, you may spend 1 force to assign the I'll show you the dark side condition to the attacker. The I'll show you the dark side condition, I'm just going to kind of sum it up, is once you've assigned that, you choose a crit card, a pilot crit card, out of the opponent's deck that hit Kylo. Basically, the best one is Panic Pilot.
Yep.
And you set it aside, and when that person who has I'll show you the dark side assigned to them suffers a crit damage, even if it's to the shields, if it would have been to the shields, they're assigned that card instead. The problem is that it costs you a force, and Kylo, having only 2 force, really wants to keep that economy up. And unless it's a situation where Kylo had a focus and didn't spend it at all and was able to spend the focus on defense and had full force and was like the last person being shot,
right,
then you do it because you can.
Yep.
But that's about it.
Yep.
There's very few times you actually need it.
It's really powerful in 1.0, but yeah, in 2.0, you're really pulling Kylo for his maneuverability, that force point, and we'll probably see that in full force here in this match once they finally engage.
Yep.
Next, so that's Brad's first order lineup. Then we have Mark and his scum lineup. So we have Ketsu. Give me a second here because I'm not super familiar with scum lists. I kind of disavowed scum after 1.0.
What you looking for?
Let's start talking about Mark's list and the
Yeah.
abilities of the pilots.
Absolutely. Got it all right here. So
Ketsu, not sure what gender to assume for Ketsu. I'm not.
she's female.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the start of engagement phase, you may choose one ship in both your front primary arc and mobile arc at range 0 to 1. If you do, it gains 1 tractor token.
All right, and the fortress is being broken.
Finally coming out to engage.
Fort Brad engage. Open the gates.
I have to imagine Brad has been playing this list a long time, probably since the emergency points adjustment to the triple epsilon list, and then everyone switched to 2-ups because that's still super strong with some sort of ace.
I don't know when he started, but he's the first person I've seen play this archetype.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's been quite a while.
Then I would say, yeah, it's been probably since then because, a lot of notable players also play this archetype. Andrew Bunn is probably the most notable. He had a lot of success with it. So Brad is probably well practiced.
No offense to Andrew. I love Andrew Bunn. But I've seen Brad pull off some pretty amazing things with his list.
All right, well, let's see if we can get a great match out of him today.
All right. Continuing on the abilities here, Old Terox says at the start of engagement phase, you may choose one enemy ship at range 1. If you do, and you are in its front firing arc, it removes all of its green tokens. This is going to really come down to, it's going to affect more the Starkiller base.
Yep.
Than anything. Tavson, of course, could lose or reinforce, but will end up getting tokens anyway. With being able to do actions afterward with the ability. Tarak is a good piece to be able to lay some damage in the first turn to get rid of that reinforce on the initial.
It's kind of like a bargain ace at that point to really lay in the licks early on. But I don't want to say he's disposable, but
no, you don't. You want him to be around for sure.
But you're not going to sweat it as much as if it was Fen. It's saying like a Fen or Suntier where if you roll the blanks, it's like, well, that always happens with Ultra Rock. I don't know. It just seems like there's less pressure.
Yeah. One of the situations I'm curious to see is if we get an engagement where Mark has all 3 of his ships into Tavson at the same time, what order of actions does Brad do? Because you could argue it's better to take the focus first. Or maybe just take a target lock. Don't even worry about a green token. Take a target lock. Then you take your first damage from whichever ship shoots you, which they're all 5, so whichever one hits. Which for Mark should be Ketsu. She's the one that can hit the hardest with Fearless and just be really consistent there. And after that, Brad would most likely then either reinforce or coordinate to reinforce the other shuttle.
And then last we have Cavill, which is almost an auto-include with most scum lists, it seems, these days. Flying the Y-Wing, where Cavill's ability is when you perform a non-primary attack, roll 1 additional attack die, and also has the dorsal turret with the veteran turret gunner, which allows, I believe, for a second attack.
Yep.
So, pretty potent there.
Yeah, both lists have ways to punch pretty hard, and we're gonna get to see these ships engage here pretty soon. There's Terak deciding, all right, gonna try to face down some Tavson. Believe in that. What's the ship ability called? Because I always call it Concordon, which is incorrect.
Concordia
face-off ship ability.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that. Because it would take a while for Starbase Killer to catch up and get back in the fight, that all these guys are going to swing down to engage Tavson, try and get those licks. Like you said, that coordinated, concentrated fire on Tavson, and try and keep out of that front arc as much as possible so that when you hit Tafson, he's not taking target lock focuses or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure Brad's probably pretty cognizant of that. Oh, well, here. Ketsu just did a 5K, so probably not going into Tafson unless he's going around that rock. Let's go ahead and get rid of the stream pole. Mark ahead 57-42.
Pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
I think with the margin of error, that's almost dead even.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so Brad right here covering all the angles. Mark has to choose. Now, with Mark, some clever positioning has made it so that Cavill hasn't committed to a direction yet. Brad coming in. He's boosting. He's ready to engage.
Yeah, Cavill has not actually even moved from her original spot. Even though it looks like, Kylo has the lane. I don't think he's going to commit. I think he's going to actually break off behind the gas cloud and sort of cause Mark to commit. Finally.
Maybe.
It's a game of chicken, like I said. Because we're 22 minutes in now, and we've just seen a lot of jockeying around in each other's side.
Yep.
So it's really going to come down to time management here soon.
Yep. And I know, there's some people in the chat questioning, well, how much is stalling? When should they engage? Because I don't think people should just always just go for a straight joust, right?
Right.
But I think it could be interesting, maybe in the future, adding some type of mechanic, after X amount of time or number of rounds. Don't do number of rounds. Never mind. Let's do next amount of time. You should be outside of a certain range band. From the board.
A lot of it right now is just at judge's discretion, but
right. So let me just finish my point.
Yep.
Just so that you're pushing players more into the center of the map in order to engage in a what we could standardize as a timely manner.
Right, and I know that pace of play has been a popular topic as of late.
Yep.
I don't know if personally if I'm seeing a lot of my matches going to time. Obviously, I don't like it. It does happen, but I don't know. I've just kind of accepted that's part of the game. Time management is part of the game.
Chris. All right, focus there from Tavson. Preparing. Daring. He's daring. He's daring Ultra. Come on, buddy.
I don't think Ultrarock's going to bite. I actually think we'll see the one hard right, barrel roll right.
All right, here we go. This is a little bit of a different move here from Mark. He's coming in. Going to try to face off with Kylo. The 3-bank clears the stress from the K-turn.
Yep. Here they come.
It's going to mark Ketsu out of the way to get Cavill moved. All right, and now that we see that we're going to be having an engagement here soon, I'm going to go ahead and re-poll the audience. Choose your champion. Looking at the positioning, because we're going to have an engagement soon. Whose way do you think it's going to go? What do you think, Ken?
I think Brad is getting the exact engagement he wants. So he's got ships committing to the middle. He's got his 2 upsilons spread out on either side, who have lanes pretty much to come in and lay down the hammer.
Ready to execute the thatch weave, right?
Yeah, the thatch weave,
right?
Indeed.
Yeah.
The little DNA strand.
Yeah. Ooh, nothing. Actually, Tafson wouldn't have the room to do that. He'd have to come in on the inside. But you know what I mean.
Yep. I'm not sure if we saw an action yet from Ultrarock. Contemplating.
What size model is Brad using? The good Kylo? The good silencer?
That's the chonky silencer.
The correct
original
silencer.
chonky silencer. Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
You heard me. All right, there's
I
the
personally
boost.
like the new one. the
No,
smaller
shame
one.
on you. Shame on you.
The less chonky version.
All right. So, Mark trying to get that range 3 engagement initially with Oterak. You know, he saw that Kylo could clip him. He didn't want to go super aggressive into this because he would have been.
Right.
Hello. Hello there. We need a poll. New silencer or old silencer? I agree. I usually don't do silly polls. I like this one.
Come on, Twitch boys. Back me up.
False.
The new one's the better one.
Incorrect. And while we wait for Brad to do this boost, let's remind you guys that this round is brought to you by CurledPawCreatives.com. Use coupon code GenCon19 for 15% off, no minimums. And he actually told me that in the USA, orders over $35 are now getting free shipping. I'm not sure if that's for a limited time, but 15% off plus free shipping, that's some good value there, guys. There we go. Which silencer do you prefer? The big boy or the wee one? Might be a little bit biased in my poll names. A little bit. But it's my poll. I get to do that.
All right, so the cleaning up end phase and going back to dials.
Watching this
Wow,
poll,
it's
it's exhilarating. We need everybody. See, this is the most important poll I think we've done this weekend. 50-50. Oh my goodness. Let's get everybody participating.
I mean, the chonky version, it's so chonky.
It commands the space, okay? It commands the space. At 68 votes right now. Come on, everybody. Let's go ahead.
You guys know you like the new sculpt.
There's 289 of you watching at home right now. We need everybody. I want at least 150 votes on this poll, at minimum.
All you gotta do is press 1 or 2.
1 or 2 in the
2
chat.
being the preferred option there.
But 1 is the correct choice. Shout out to Epionic for 19 months of Prime subscribing. Thank you so much for your support. Hunting Phoenix. I don't shrug. I don't fly FO. This is not about what you fly.
Right.
This is just looking at the big silencer or the little one.
Which aesthetics do you prefer?
Correct. Good aesthetics or weak aesthetics? Big boy or wee one? Especially when it's painted yellow and you have a little Kylo miniature that you set on top of it and you give him little reins that attach to the big boy. It looks so good. A couple people asking in the chat, was there a prize wall for X-Wing? No prize wall at this tournament. That's the system open thing.
The prize
only.
wall was go into the exhibit hall and do some shopping. Of which it's so cavernous in there.
Will, I think you need to settle a debate here.
Okay.
Which silencer is the best silencer? The big one or the weak one?
Well, you used the word weak.
Right.
Thank you.
I think I prefer the small one because it's more.
Thank
All right,
you.
So Will can't be picked up by the microphone, so he doesn't count. You need help with something?
It should be Kayla's.
Kayla's? All right, cool.
the
loss,
non-chalky version came out on top on that very quick.
Mostly it's because from a gameplay standpoint, you constantly have to pull that thing off its base.
Exactly.
Just use more pegs.
Just use more
I'm
pegs.
just saying. All right.
No, because then all you do is you encourage the I have the higher ground.
Incredibly intimidating, and I'm very easily
Well, that does play to your argument for the chonky version.
Truth. All right, so Ketsu jumping over Cavill. Little hopscotch. Oh, you know what? I didn't get to vote yet. Let me.
I'm logging into Twitch chat now to keep it dead even.
120 votes, 50-50. All right, he's going to go ahead and take a target lock with Ketsu onto the Starkiller base.
I think Tavson is just out of range from Ketsu. That should clear.
Yep, that'll hopscotch. Unnecessary marking of ships. Mark was like, "Oh wait, I could have just actually heard him over the thing. I could have just done it in the other order, shouldn't I?" I'm like, yeah, that's okay. All right, Cavill sweeping in, deciding Tavson, no thank you. Let's try to get the Starkiller base off the board. It is, I think, the easiest target to get off there, and taking any gun off the board is a good idea.
Yeah.
Also, with the position of Tavson, it prevents Kylo from getting too aggressive into where Tarak is here.
Yeah. The best Kylo can hope for right now is a lottery moonshot on old Tarak. But coupled with Tavson, could, lay some, dice variance at that point and kind of really put in some hurt. It'll be a tough, it's a tough ask to lay on much damage on Starbase Killer reinforced up like that, even at range 1 and 2. Because, reinforce is super clutch on these shuttles.
Agreed.
So finally, 35 minutes in, we're going to see our first engagement.
Prismacio241 asks, will you be going to Poland for Euros, smiley face? Yeah.
That's
the answer is yes.
The August World Tour.
That's right. Today, on my lift ride over, I was explaining the World Tour to my lift driver because he was asking questions, and I was like, well, this is what I got going on. And he was absolutely amazed. But we're going to get into the engagement phase after we see Kylo moving here, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. If you want to see all the events and all the streams we got going on, ! Events in the chat. It's a lot. Over the next 6 weeks, I think there is only 6 or 7 days where there's not some type of Gold Squadron content happening on the channel. Right now, we're watching the top 14 cut game. We'll be down to the top 8 after this.
You need to drink a lot of water and eat healthy on this trip to be in good shape through the whole. World travel is no joke. So
yeah, I will say I already have a little tickle in the back of my throat.
I can tell.
It's like, oh man, it's the first leg of the journey. Now you
starting
say it
off
isn't
with con flu right off the bat.
Yep. You know what? I'm building up the immunity. It's a perfect place. I just need to go around and lick everybody here at Gen Con, build up as many immunities as possible, and I'll be ready for the rest of the trip.
You just need some essential oils, and you're good to go. So here we go. First engagement.
All right, hit, crit, getting it started into the Starkiller base. Defending.
So that's
going to go ahead and take 2.
Yep.
That's
and
Ketsu.
He gets the tractor, so he loses. I think because of reinforce, he's only taking 1.
Yeah, it just avoids avoiding multiple damage with the die.
Right.
Cavill, range 1. He's going to get 2 shots here because of veteran turret gunner. His turret is in the front. So primary first. He's debating spending it. All right, just 1 because of reinforce. He's going to hold on to the focus for the dorsal shot. He's going to go ahead and leave it at 3. Takes 2 more because of reinforce. Remember, reinforce is reducing the damage by 1. Up to a minimum of 1 damage going through.
So I think Starbase Killer's at 2 shields here. That first engagement was 3 hits.
Got it.
Did roll evade, had the reinforce, so should have only taken 1.
All right, here we go.
Yep.
Here's Tarok. Checking if it's obstructed or not. Judge going to go ahead and check whether or not Tarok's shot is obstructed. This is the head judge, Michael Juris. And clearly obstructed. Range 2, obstructed. This would be 3 on 0. Or sorry, 3 on 1 because of the cloud. Only a crit there. And
Reinforce.
No, not reinforced. Gas cloud.
Ah.
He needed to roll a focus.
Yep.
All right, Tafson reaching out. I think it wants checks to see if he has Tarok in arc. It's close.
My non-official opinion is it's in.
I will hold my opinion until I hear the judge, and then I'll just magically be right. All right, and that's seeming to go.
It's close.
Yes, that is in arc. It is range 2, and Tafson is loading up that gun. He has a target lock out there. 4 on 3. Here it goes.
Not great.
All right, that was a bad roll. He's going to spend that lock. Only 2. But
Yep. So you got 1 lucky hit in.
luck, yeah. I would say that's unfortunate for Mark with the with a below average roll on Brad's side.
So he's going to do the range 1 into Cavill.
Yep.
From Starbase Killer. Getting the 5.
All right, 2 hits going into Cavill. Rolls the evade.
So they
so he's
determined
cocked in the box.
Same result.
And the dice god said, "You were honest. Here you go." So only 1 damage there on Cavill. That's actually pretty big for Mark. I know he held on to the focus to try to avoid the range 1, some extra damage there, but it worked out for him. Of course, he would love to have at least 1 more of those shields gone.
Not great for Mark, but on the other side of the die, you know, Ultrarock taking 1, but Cavill taking as few as she did.
Yeah.
He should be very thankful. And I think we can go ahead and close out the tie silencer poll. We're at a dead heat. Seems like a very divisive issue amongst the...
A divisive issue. The true debate in X-Wing. I will concede the point that the smaller silencer is the most practical of silencers.
It is. And, you know, different strokes for different folks. I just like the aesthetics of the new one a bit better. It's a bit more sleeker. When they announced the new model was coming out and showed pictures, I actually – and there are people who love the original Chonky version because I was able to sell my originals knowing I was going to buy the new ones down the road. I just wasn't playing First Order at the time. And So everyone's happy.
Fair. Absolutely fair. All right, we got 33 and change left. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. A couple of reminders there. We're trying to hit our goal of 250 subs for Gen Con.
Let's do it.
I have
Just over the 200 mark, it looks like.
just over the 200 mark. This is a good start for the World Tour. I know that there's going to be a little bit of, since this is the first event in the series, this is the one where I expect the highest numbers of subs because, you know, somebody does their Twitch Prime today. They can't do it next week,
Right.
obviously. But like this one and like the Australia Nova Open one is going to be the two biggest when it comes to subs. And I think if we hit 250, I'm going to give away another painted ship to the Twitch chat. To the Twitch chat. So I gave away 3 yesterday, a set of 3 to a legacy patron.
Okay.
We're already doing one to a new patron, a painted ship. We're doing the zombie, the zombie flood bomber.
Nice.
And I have a super sweet repainted and highlighted Naboo Starfighter
Ooh.
that we can add to the mix for the Twitch chat if we can get to 250 by the end of the day.
Let's do it.
You know, it's the first one in the World Tour. We got to start it big.
So there's a lot of contemplation going on this next turn. It really looks like Mark is trying to see what his options are to keep guns on target, however, but not get blocked. Because having Cavill and Ketsu get blocked up here, losing actions would be not great because you're going to see Tafson swing in, come in from behind, and then I don't think Kylo can pull the one hard barrel roll out, boost forward.
It's close. We have to see the spacing there. But I wouldn't be surprised if it does fit. One hard is the best thing because he doesn't want to keep following Tafson.
Exactly, because Tafson can either do this, the bank, or I even think the 2 hard is going to clip. So he's got to do the 2 bank, and then Kylo is basically stuck back here and out of the fight for another round.
Does the Starkiller base stop there? Or do you think Cavill might just 4K over him? And
I think Cavill's going to dial in the 4K, so yeah, it's tough.
yeah, I'm really curious to see what he does. Most of the dial, which is the one that we're waiting for? We're waiting for Starkiller base.
Because there's not really a move for Starkiller base to stay in the fight, get the action, and not take range 1.
All right, here we go. Just doing a dial double check. Man, I gotta get a State Farm sponsorship every time somebody double check their dials.
And I actually think these 2 players need to triple check their dials because they're both using first order dial covers.
Yeah,
so that's a little confusing.
No, are they both first order or are they just painted black for Mark?
I think they are actual first order dial covers.
All right, I like this move from Brad. 3 banking over the gas cloud makes it so that you have some obstruction and the gas cloud ability with the 4K. That's a good move.
It's a good move. I almost think next turn he's flying off the board, though. I don't think.
No,
the
shuttles have 1 hards.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. It's been a while since I busted out my first order stuff.
They have 1 hards, and then you can 2 hard out of that positioning.
So we got the 1 bank, I think, from Tafson.
Tafson going to toss the target lock out there. It's going to try to Cavill. Yep. All right, let's see who's next.
Yep, there's
There's
the
the
4K.
4K. Yeah, with that arc pointed forward, he needs to
Yeah.
keep the shots relevant. One thing I haven't mentioned this week, if you see that prompt that pops up, we're actually trying to get to, I know this sounds like a lofty goal, I'd like to, by the end of the World Tour, try to get to 10,000 YouTube subscribers. We're at 8.5 right now.
That's a lot.
It is. There's a lot of people out there who love X-Wing. I'm not asking you to hit the notification bell, but it actually unlocks quite a few features as a content creator on YouTube.
Okay.
If you get to 10,000 subs. So if you want to help us out, go ahead and click that button on YouTube.
Is Twitch set up the same way? Kind of has tiers of feature sets based on how many?
Yeah, well, it's dependent on the one heart does fit. Decisions does.
Does he take that barrel roll left and boost past Old Turok? However, then that next couple of turns, it'll leave Old Turok to basically come in behind Tabs.
I'm not sure that actually fits. The barrel roll left does fit, whether or not the boost actually gets past it,
yep.
whether it's in the pocket or not.
And I don't. He might have. No, I guess he's got Old Turok in the arc now, and might even be out of Old Turok's arc. However, then you're going over the rock the next turn.
He could just barrel roll to the right. Might be the smartest move.
Yeah,
Brad.
that's the conservative move.
So he knows that he can't take any green tokens. That's just gonna go away if he barrel rolls to the left. You can't like can't focus barrel roll.
Right.
He could target lock barrel roll.
He's
going for it.
Going for it and maybe trying.
He could try the boost.
Well, he's actually taking shots first.
Yep, they're both initiative 5. He's going to get the silencer off the model.
Because it's chonky.
Go as far forward as possible. And he's trying to eye if the boost over fits.
Well, the boost right definitely fits. This way fits for sure. Ooh, that's gutsy.
All right, we're going to trade some range 1 shots here.
Oof.
Start of engagement, no Ketsu ability, no Turok ability, just pew-pews.
Range 3 through the gas cloud, it seems.
Unobstructed.
Unobstructed.
2-on-2 here. 1 hit. And takes 1.
Takes it.
All right, here we go. We're going to trade some shots here. Here we go. He's got a focus.
Ooh.
The crit isn't terrible. Kylo's got shields.
Got the shields. He just needs 1.
He's going to hold on to the focus. That plus Concordia face-off should prevent any damage coming in from Kylo.
Safe. Oh, never mind. There's now
Safe.
safe.
All right, here goes Brad. He's going to just Return. He's gonna not worry about the force. Just one. Brad says, if I would have had a focus and been able to keep it.
Lock, I think.
He does have a lock out there. I'd spend the lock on 2 of them. Yep.
Yep. It's guaranteed 2 with the force.
Spend the lock on 2. And 1 force. That ends up getting back. So
yep.
3 hits there.
I think I'll be okay. Yep.
Concordia. No damage. This is a tight one, guys. So Starkiller Base doesn't have a shot, but Tafts is going to be able to see if he can reach.
Yep.
There it is, range 2. That is a good roll there from
3
Towson.
hits and a crit.
Going to be losing a couple shields there.
Yep.
Hit, crit. That's going to be on the hole. Listening in. Fuel leak.
Bad news.
That is bad. Ketsu, with all that hull, does not want to see fuel leaks out there.
Yeah, so you'll see Starbase Killer make that hard one, probably to the right. And then Tafson is just going to collapse in on Ketsu and just start trying to lay in the crits.
You know, I would not be surprised if I see Brad go to the left.
Go left.
Yeah.
Keep that ultra rocket arm's length.
Yeah, because you don't want Tafson to be in the way of Starkiller. You don't want that vice versa. You almost always want them coming from opposite directions, because once they start going in the same direction, that's when it's easier to get behind them.
Yep.
You want overlapping arcs as much as possible. And as we go to planning, I want to remind you guys that this round is brought to you by Curled Paw Creatives. Use coupon code GenCon19. You can go to curledpawcreatives.com or just search Curled Paw Creatives on Google. You'll find the Etsy shop there. Got tokens for X-Wing, Legion, Destiny, all kinds of games, even card games like Pokemon and Magic. You can go take a look there. Again, 15% off and free shipping on USA orders of $35 or more. Ryan Farmer randomly in the chat, even though he's here in Indianapolis.
Can't stay off the Twitch chat.
I must be with my peoples. My people. Cynical Gaming, does the coupon work on Monday? Yes. It works on Monday, not on Tuesday. Monday Central Time, by the way. Because that's where Andrew is.
Yep.
Ryan just woke up. Hi, Ryan. Press the wrong button. There we go. So 19 and change left here. No points scored yet. 1 shield away from scoring, which would be 29 points there. 2 hull away from scoring 44 points. 1 hull away from scoring 29 as well. Starkiller Base and Ultra Rock are the same costs. We lost the internet.
Yeah, and Camel has some decisions to make. Is Starbase Killer going to break left, and therefore you bring Cavill in that way to try and land those points, or is he going to break this way, right, and then Cavill has to decide if he's going to jet forward? So he broke left like you said.
Yep.
And the two.
Too hard. Didn't even
Too
need
hard,
the one
yeah,
hard.
Too hard fit totally.
All right, reaching for the
Caval's out.
target lock. That's going to be just out.
He's going to put it on Ketsu instead.
Target lock on Ketsu there. I want to remind everybody who's watching, we are on a mobile internet connection here. We couldn't, I would say that buying the internet package available to us here would have been wasteful.
Yeah.
$7,000.
What?
Yeah.
So every vendor on the exhibit hall has to pay $7,000 to get
If you
internet
want a
time.
wired internet connection,
Ouch.
it's because the advertised speed for the Wi-Fi was slower than my hotspot.
Okay.
No, thank you.
No.
Yeah.
And there's the 5K.
I don't have any updates on the other games. Once, if I can get somebody to walk by. Yep. And somebody in the chat here was like, oh, Isophane, and the guys can take care of it. Like, no, they said for $7,000 we can get Dion to a lot of events for $7,000.
We'll get
save
him
our
a
money
better mobile hotspot for that.
for much less.
Right. So this is interesting. So Brad has forced engagement onto Tavson.
Yep.
So you're going to see his ability proc there, much to the detriment of Mark, because I think either way, to either Kaval or Ketsu, it's going to be through the gas cloud. So it's just a matter of who's going to take the hits, fully tokened up.
So this is what they had available. This one.
Okay.
So I wanted to show Ken.
Wow.
Just so that he sees the what I got in the mail here. $7,850.
No, thank you.
Yeah, we good. It's a bit cost prohibitive.
I mean, I'm sure Gen Con brings a huge amount of revenue into the city of Indianapolis every year.
It sure does.
And every vendor is going to take advantage. I mean, our hotel is charging $15 a day for in-room internet, which I find archaic and barbaric.
All right, Kylo moving towards the end of the board. There is a Y-wing behind here, by the way, just so you guys know.
Definitely an arc of Tavson.
He's right there.
So
somebody in the chat asking, what does proc mean? Proc means to activate, initialize, cause to have effect.
yeah, always wondered what the
origin of that word.
Is it from like processed and in gamer speak?
I
they
think
just shorten it to
process, maybe. I don't know exactly. That's a great question.
Don't feel alone in not knowing that. When I first started playing X-Wing, I was not a PC gamer, and I'm old, so it's like proc. Well, yeah. So I asked the exact same question.
Procedure. Why did you delete my Y-wing?
I wanted to have more of a Y instead of the football
That's a U-wing.
uprights.
That's a U-wing now.
I also wanted to have the Y to show the arc on Tafson to show that it's directly down the middle of Cavill. So it's definitely an arc. So Brad is deciding whether he wants to take the shot from Kylo onto Ketsu or Cavill, because he's got shots on both with both Tafson and Kylo. Going after Ketsu.
Somebody in the chat asking about YouTube. YouTube is up, but you should be watching on Twitch.
You should be watching on Twitch. Twitch is where it's at.
This is where you win the prizes. I had somebody ask me last night if I was taking my talents to Mixer. You hear about that whole thing? Ninja, the Fortnite streamer, switched to, got like $100 million contract to stream on Mixer.
No.
Mixer exclusively.
Big money.
Yeah. It's interesting, like, people are like, oh my God, he's leaving his Twitch people behind. I'm like, 100 mil guaranteed? Anybody would do that.
World Tour, you're going to see the first X-Wing tournament in space. You get 100 million.
In space.
We're going on the Russian rockets.
Here we go. Mark rolling that dice from Ketsu. Uses the Force. 2 hits going into Kylo. He's going to have to use the Force here.
Yep. Just to take one.
Spends one Force, takes a shield. And his Force are down. Ketsu tractor beam. So Mark happy about that. He's going to be able to put Ketsu on the rock. Excuse me, not
Kylo
put Kylo on the rock.
Which, or just pull him into range 1 of
Cavill.
Cavill.
Yeah, we can't quite.
As well as the gas cloud, which doesn't matter.
Yep.
And so Cavill will take the 2 shots into Kylo.
Yeah, that is definitely, that's worth more, especially with Kylo not having any Force here.
That's a pro move.
Honestly, I forgot about Cavill hiding behind. You see, if he would have been drawn there, I would have remembered.
It was interesting that Brad was willing, I think, where Kylo ended up after the move was out of arc of Ketsu, but then he boosted in to get the shorter range.
Shields are down on Kylo.
And Kylo paid for it.
$29 points scored so far.
So he's going to stay on target and take those shots at Ketsu.
Incorrect. Sorry, no points scored yet. I hit a wrong button.
Did Brad roll too many dice for Kylo? Because you should only roll 2 with the tractor. Because you lose 1 agility once you're tractored, correct?
I didn't see it. I was
okay. I can't remember he rolled 3 or 2 agility dice.
Yeah.
You want me to run over to tell Michael?
Unless it's obstructed. That would be the only reason why it would be 3. We can't see that. All right, confirm. We can't see the gas cloud.
All right, so they are
They're
sorting
figuring
it out now. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just going to listen in on our side and wait to see what the resolution is. All right, so the decision from the head judge was to give both players a warning for not keeping the game state.
Right.
So that is an official warning, by the way. So that's is that 2 points? Is that how that works? Floor rules are new.
Yeah, I think it's 2 points.
Yeah.
Well, there we have it. Was that the first instance of floor rules being issued on stream?
On stream, yeah.
Okay.
No, definitely. That's the first one. Yeah, so I have it on. Sorry, guys. I have it updated on my side on the left, and it's not updating on the screen. 1 second. When we had the reset. Oh, okay. There we go. Is that changing over there? No.
No.
Okay. So people are saying, Dion. I'm looking at mine. I'm like, it looks fine. What do you mean? There you go.
There we go.
Just double check everything. One.
You might need to add to the overlay penalty point counts or something like that.
Nah, I wouldn't want to do that. That's none of my business. That's between the players and the judge.
Yep.
Nothing to do with me. One down there. And no shields. Does Ketsu have any carts? Yes. He's down to 7. Okay, with the fuel leak. All right, we're good. People asking, did both players get penalized? Yes. So the way it works, both players are responsible for the game state.
Right.
And that's the rules. And it's one of those where it's both players' responsibility.
Right, and I think they determined it was too far along to walk it back.
Yeah.
So thus the warnings were issued.
And also would say the way that the dice ended up, Brad did end up taking damage anyway.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird. Say it again? Okay. And they've also been given a 2-minute time extension for the resolution. Okay. So we're going to go ahead. We're at 3:20 right now.
Change that to 5:20 and change.
So they might get 2 extra turns. So what I'll do, once the timer ends, I'll add the 2
Add
minutes.
the 2 minutes? Okay.
Yeah.
So this match probably coming down in the last round.
Yep.
We're at 0-0. No one's been able to get the other to half points just yet, but I think Ketsu will definitely get to half points because you're going to see Starbase Killer swing in finally. Kylo is in kind of a tough spot, and he's got to maintain those points.
Yep.
Tafson going to be all right.
All right. While we wait here, just a couple of shout-outs. Silver Foxfire, thank you so much, man. You're welcome. And Vuk HS, thank you so much for your Prime sub 2 months in a row. Right now, both players at 0 points. And both players still in planning. Even with the time extension, this will be the last round, most likely. And that Ketsu dial is down. You know, going into this game, Mark, I talked to him before, really thought this was a terrible matchup for him.
Yeah.
And they're neck and neck. They're right there.
They are. And so you have Ketsu possibly going to go to half points, Ultrarock possibly at half points. On the other side, you have Starbase Killer very close to going to half points, as well as Kylo. So this last round is really going to is absolutely going to determine who the winner is.
Man, this is down to the wire. Woo. Darth Revan 1979 calling me out for my YouTube video my way too early faction rankings. That's fine. I hedged that by calling it the way too early faction rankings.
You did hedge it.
So I will re-record this video probably after seeing Poland. After seeing Poland, I think that's when I'll redo it.
Yeah, because
or maybe actually, probably just after this, after seeing these 6 tournaments.
Yeah.
That might be the best.
Yeah. I think we're seeing a bump here. Yep. Bring out the railroad tracks.
Line it up. So there are 3 resistance lists in the top cut and one separatist in the cut. It's still too early to call. That was this tournament. I want to see how next week's hyperspace trial goes.
Yep.
And definitely
someone asking what the meta is or what have you.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Argentina next week. We have a hyperspace trial after that.
And it'll definitely be different between hyperspace extended. I think because it was extended, that's why you saw a ton of Imperial lists. When we switch back to hyperspace format, I think you're going to see a lot more Republic lists.
Yeah.
Although Resistance has come back pretty strong with the new Wave 4 stuff.
Well, and here, we're in extended here. We have a Sinker Swarm in the top cut here. Andrew Knuckles. Which I think by a chat message I saw may have won. That's the end of the 2-minute extension. I heard it called by the judge there.
So this is the last round.
Yep.
This shooting will determine If it goes to final salvo, Brad
Has an
definitely
advantage
has
for
the
sure.
advantage. It'll be interesting to see what Kylo did. If he just bugged out or tried to pull the K-turn there.
John, can you do me a favor? Could you find Juris and take a picture of the bracket for me?
Thanks, man. Field reporter John Parter of Gold Squadron gonna go get me some intel. All right, waiting for the
So Kylo going.
man. The Tavson killing the views, man. So tall.
Breaking right.
All right. We got a copy of the bracket. Well, we don't know
We don't
who's
have the
won
results?
yet.
Okay.
So
Star Wars Legion players begin play.
I wonder. Just waiting for these players to
Oh.
finish executing these maneuvers.
I think just enough room for Kylo to do the barrel roll.
Man, I'm really sad.
Get
This
out
is a
of-
game where I'm super sad that I don't have the overhead cam.
Yeah.
I can't. The lights in here did not let me do it.
You got to work with what you got. But, yeah, it's compounded that the Tafson is on an epic stand.
Yeah. Looks like Kylo got blocked.
No, Kylo cleared, did the too hard right, cleared everyone. And now the question is whether he's got room to barrel roll out of Ketsu's
Arc.
which is totally what he wants.
Right.
Now the question in here is, can either side land enough hits to get half points on anything? So Starbase Killer was probably the most favored target
Yeah.
out of arc. If Kylo is able to barrel roll that way, they have to shoot at Tafson. So
Which, yeah.
can Mark get 6 points?
No. No, he's not going to be able to get 6 shields. And honestly, is Tafson stressed? Is that...
No, Tafson's not stressed, but Tafson did end up on the gas, but it doesn't matter because
He still has his ability,
right,
though.
exactly.
That's
the first
why I was
attack
asking
comes
whether
in,
he's stressed.
either reinforce or what have you.
I think if I'm Mark, oh, man, do I just not shoot? I think I might just not shoot. Oh, wait, he's got 2 how many? Is Cavill pointing at him? We don't
Yeah,
know.
so Cavill bumped, I think. So I think Cavill is right here because he tried to do the 4K, did not clear, so basically ran into Tafson. So you're not getting the 2 shots from Cavill.
All right. Ketsu, tractor beam on Tafson with her ability. No dice for Tafson. He's going to go with Tarak first. He's checking his ranges, making his choices.
It's going on
All right,
Tafson.
this
He's
is
got
it.
to land all paint for it to really matter. There you go.
That's it, baby.
That's what you
That's
needed.
one way to start. That's 4 damage. And he can go ahead and use Tafson's ability. He gets 2 actions here.
I think one of them is definitely reinforced front.
Yeah.
There's the reinforce.
So
I
reinforcing the
think
front
you
for
tank
sure.
the focus for the attack because you're not rolling any dice. You're not rolling any defense dice here.
Focus or target. He might. We can't see the angles. Yeah, you take a focus or a target lock. Target lock on the.
He's going to take the focus because he's got. That definitely looks unobstructed.
Well, we can't see.
We
We
can't
can't
see.
see. You have X-ray vision, Ken? I didn't know.
Oh, here's the edge of that gas cloud. That's pretty much the arc because
Brad.
here's the corner. I just like drawing on the map here on the.
Yeah.
So that's my unprofessional.
1, 2, 3. Brad took 4 damage, right?
He took 4. Yep.
So he
Because
should have.
Here's the 4, and there's no.
He should have
2.
2 shields. Hold on. Stop for a second. Stop. You should have 2 shields. You took 4 damage. You had all 6. Okay. Before anything happens.
Not good. He's going to just take it because. Oh, never mind. Where did Cavill end up? Oh.
All right. So
Cavill
Hold on,
bumped
hold
into Kylo. So he does have the
Hit.
shots.
all right. So he's got a direct hit down to 3 hull.
So he's got half points.
Ketsu's trying to end it here.
Yep.
Range 1, 4 dice, has a maul. And Fearless is active. Only 2.
Nope, he's got the 3, and
Fearless
that's enough.
hit crit.
That's
No, the
enough.
crit has to be a double damage. He has reinforce.
Ah, right.
Doesn't take him out.
Whoa.
Holy crap.
Still taking 4, 3 and a crit. And
the fuel leak.
leak.
Oh, man. Mark. No. 2, 3, 4. Fuel leak. Chef. 2 left. Brutal.
And then you have the range
Absolutely
2 shot
brutal.
from SBK, which could finish it. So at this point, Brad is ahead.
Yes.
Half points on Tavson, half points on Ketsu. It's cocked.
All right. Working on the overlay. Give me a second, guys.
Wow. So it came down
And-
to the absolute last move for everything.
All right, so sorry, I'm going to take away the overlay because we're having an issue with it, with the disconnect. But Brad ends up winning 44-20 and change.
No, he got all of Ketsu. So Ketsu
Did he
was
end up getting
destroyed.
all
Yeah,
of Ketsu
Ketsu was
at the end
destroyed.
there? Oh, because of Starkiller Base.
Yep.
Sorry, I was trying to fix your internet where we go. And we have an updated bracket here. So let's go ahead and we'll go to the giveaway screen here. We're going to have to keep this kind of short. From the matchups, Ethan versus Vincent, Carson Ray wins. Okay, let's go ahead and just take a picture of this. Get it out of
I
our
got a picture.
For my records, good sir.
Thank you.
Then Todd is going to be advancing. He takes out Mark Moriarty. And then we saw Brad beat Mark. Matthew Carey had a bye. He's going to be taking on Andrew Knuckles. And then looks like Josh Benjamin was able to get past Ryan Staniszewski. And then Samuel Ratson takes out Sean Hune. All right, everybody. Congratulations on your dub.
Congrats.
Was that a fun game?
It was a good game. It was a good game. Lots of crits being thrown. I lost Sacre on the first round of combat.
Ooh, baby.
Never good.
All right. So we're going to do a couple of giveaways here. Giveaway section is matchup. Let me have, let's see, Carson is resistance. Let's go Mike Doyle, Carson Ray. All right. Could you grab them while I do this? All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and do quick giveaways for you guys. Again, giveaway times are going to be short just because of the amount of time we have. Let's go ahead and we're going to give away 4 Anakin Skywalkers, all right? 4 Anakin Skywalkers going. How do you become a part of this? All you got to do is be talking in the Twitch chat. Super easy. Are you waiting to talk to me?
I just wanted to see, did you see my headphones?
No. No. So hold on, let me finish this real quick. All right. So 4 of these, we're going to do this rapid fire. Remember, if you win, exclamation point win in the chat, exclamation point WIN, and fill it out. Make sure you fill it out correctly. We're going to be putting an estimated wait time of about 8 to 10 weeks to get everything shipped out, just because with the amount of stuff that I got going on with all the events. If you haven't seen the events, exclamation point events in the chat, so you can see that list, the calendar, all of that. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, roll it. There are, hold on. Giveaway machine broke because of the disconnect of the internet. Try again. Giving it a second. All right, it's loading up. It's loading up. I remind you guys that today, the other thing we're doing, we're going to do a Patreon exclusive giveaway for the that Zombie Flood Bomber. And then if we reach our goal of 250 subs by the end of today, we're going to be giving away a Naboo Starfighter repaint. And I'll show that off at some point when we have a chance. Today's pretty rapid fire. There we go. We got 4 of these. Here we go. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. First one is Maze Rim. Second person to win it is Matty Day 92. Next one is Maximus 515. And last but certainly not the least, we got Netrunner 76. Congratulations to those 4 people for winning their Anakin Skywalker card there. We got more giveaways coming, guys. Top 8 action coming to you here. We're going all the way to the final. Stick with us. We'll be right back.